Wow, seniors, we made it. Who would have thought? A handful of us have made it through the eras of Mr. Lindsay and Mr. Hicks and even the Cowans. We've made it through way too many essays, way too many tests, and most importantly, we made it through one of the most difficult character building moments of our high school careers, the college process. This year to me has been one of the most special and heart-wrenching years through my 4 years in the Stony Brook School, and even my 18 years on this planet. Through my year, or half year as head prefect, the prefect board, administration, and all of you have collaborated to leave what is the solid foundation of the building blocks of legacies that will become the pillars of Stony Brook School and then the world around it. In the beginning of the year, one of the primary aims my team and I had was to be intentional with our times in our special positions. Hence, this time last year, we created the ABCs of intentionality. Through authenticity, we worked with the International Council to grow events like the International Fashion Show and art exhibitions that as student leaders we were so excited to unveil to you. We wanted you guys to represent yourselves, find your roots, and be proud of them. Through events like this, we hoped you would understand that uniquely we are different, but we can work together, and with our differences, we can be truly great. Next was B, balance. As the heat of academic pressure continues to leave its marks on high schoolers around the world, through meetings with Dr. Riley and the admin, we worked tirelessly to ensure that you could cope with the academic pressures, and if not, you had the opportunity to make use of the resources. Hence, as a school, we introduced the Health and Wellness Council that helped educate students on the different pressures of life and ways you can adapt so that you can grow and thrive. As well as alongside our academic prefect, we were able to institute more stabilized peer tutoring sessions, and even when school went online, it didn't stop us. We organized standardized exam strategy sessions with organizations that we had partnered with. Lastly, C is connection. Meet Me Halfway was built to connect students with different perspectives, to be able to come into a room and understand each other and voice their beliefs in a structured setting. With the belief that to know someone, you have to understand them, we strive to strengthen our community through tough talks and difficult conversations to instill respect and virtue at the end of the day. And I believe that we accomplished all of that. But lastly, to my seniors. You guys, we have been intentional with our years here at Stony Brook, and we have indeed left a mark that will never be erased. I am so proud to be in this special class of 2020, and I am so proud to have gotten to know all 96 of you. It is indeed an honor. And although today I do not have a gavel with me, it is a pleasure to finish this academic year with you guys. Thank you so much, and I wish you complete happiness and success in you guys' academic pursuits and everything thereafter. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Hello faculty, students, families, and specifically the graduating class of 2020. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Emmy Specht, and I've had the honor of being the class president for the past 2 years. I would like to start by saying thank you to our faculty and administrators, as I recognize that the past 2 chaotic months have not just been a period of transition for us students, but one for all of you guys as well. Thank you to our wonderful teachers who worked hard to move all of our lesson plans online through the end of the year and who continue to be there for us every day. Despite the internet problems and times that we don't realize our microphones are muted during class. Thank you to Mr. Crane, Dr. Riley, Mr. Ryan, Mrs. Detweiler, and Mr. Lingle for dealing with the really difficult decisions regarding the last couple months of school. I know that a lot of these decisions were not easy to make, as they were also not easy to hear. Thank you to Mrs. Abrahamson and Mr. Hardison for continuing to invest your time and energy into our SBS careers, and to Mrs. Liu, Mr. Struck, and Mr. Johnson for your constant support and encouragement up until the very last minute of our college process. Thank you to Mr. Liu and your team for handling the complications that Zoom and just moving online have brought to us. Also, thank you to my Vice President James Fu and to my entire class council of Lulu, Rochelle, Ning, Martin, and Avalon. Thank you for the time and energy that you guys have put into meetings and put into the class since you got to Stony Brook. Also, thank you for your strong characters and the way that you have impacted each and every single one of us. The class of 2020 has a voice that I love. You can hear this voice while we run out onto the field after winning class challenges. And you can hear it all throughout campus, from the classrooms in Gabeline to the fields behind Swanson. This voice preaches of dedication, as Wensan works tirelessly with the International Council throughout the year, and as Diana sits as first chair violin in the orchestra. Dedication as the girls' volleyball team wins the PSAA championships and as Riley finishes his last mile as a bear. Our voice sings of passion as Avalon advocates for gun violence prevention all across the nation, as Martin leads and implements the first ever environmental council on campus, and as the seniors of TAS perform for their last time in Carson. This voice is intelligent each year when the seniors of the ethics bowl team bring home a new title, and as Jan, Tom, Reza, and Deanna finish 10th in the world in robotics and first place in New York. The voice of our class is kind and curious, and will continue to be so throughout all of the obstacles that we have to overcome. In class of 2020, throughout our time together at SBS, we've already overcome so much. Despite recent obvious obstacles, we've had to also overcome the couches being removed from Gabeline lobby, and the era of middle schoolers making TikToks in the bathrooms. We've all had our fair share of AP exams and college applications, but the fact that we are not all together tonight, wearing our caps and gowns and lining up in Swanson behind bagpipes hurts the most. It hurts more than any rolly backpack hitting your ankle or any injury you can get from the class challenge bouncy house. I recognize that everyone is experiencing this time differently, and I know that times are tough for a lot of SBS families. I know that for me personally at least, this does not feel like the end. But that's because I do not believe it is. I know that the voice of our class will carry on to address the overwhelming issues that our world is combating today. Yes, while we graduate during a global pandemic, we also cannot forget that our last 4 years of high school were 4 of 5 of Earth's hottest years on record, and our junior year at SBS was the US's worst year on record for gun violence in schools. Issues like these, amongst so many other multidimensional and large-scale problems, will continue to grow and continue to be scary and continue to be in need of a solution. But class of 2020, as cheesy as it is to say this, I believe that the solution is here amongst us. It is in this voice that we will carry as we continue on to be educators, doctors, scientists, activists, and global citizens. The solution is in the way that the individuals of this class care about each other, the way that Anna L. always has something insightful to add to a conversation, the way that the prefects hold the doors open for the school on Mondays, and the way that Lisa works for hours patiently on her artwork. The solution to these problems is in the values that have been instilled in us through our faculty members and the virtues that we have learned from each other. It's in the way that we will continue to be dedicated to our work and curious about new ideas, things that I've appreciated about you guys for so long. And I remember on the first day of Bear Paws this year, Mr. Ryan stated a quote from Maya Angelou that went like, "People will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did, but people will never forget the way that you made them feel." And class of 2020 is, if it isn't obvious by my cracking voice, I have felt so proud to be part of this group of insanely amazing individuals, and you guys have made me feel so at home at SBS. As I address you as a class for the last time, after 2 incredible years of serving as your president, the only really important thing left for me to say is thank you. Thank you for being there during the long nights of study groups in Hollis, seemingly endless AP Euro review sessions, and college drop-ins. Even if it was cut short, thank you for the wonderful time that we spent together. Waking up early on the first day of classes to watch the sunrise on the bleachers, running to Dunkin' Donuts before 8 a.m., painting the senior rock on the field blue, dancing in Canis during Project SBS, and every single little moment in between. But overall, Thank you for the past 4 years of my life, spent with some of the most brilliant, motivated, but especially kind-hearted people that I've ever met. I know that all of our goodbyes were very rushed and quite uncertain. But if there's one thing I want you to know, it's that I am so proud to be part of this class, and I wouldn't have it any other way, despite however it could have ended. I am so lucky to be your class president, to share a fraction of this voice, and I will always be so lucky to be your friend. I already can't wait to see all of the things that you've accomplished, and I know that we will meet again, but until then, I'm thinking about you guys, and I'm missing you more than ever. To every SBS community person watching this right now, I hope that you stay safe and stay healthy. So, as Oscar would say, cheers, and thank you for a wonderful 4 years. See you soon.